Once upon a time, in a small village called Umuahia, in the heart of Nigeria, there lived a beautiful young woman named Adanma. Adanma was so beautiful that all the young men in the village wanted to marry her. With her radiant cocoa brown skin, shining black as night hair, and a smile that could outshine the sun, she was the object of every bachelor's desire. However, Adanma could not trust if the young men truly loved her for who she was on the inside, or if they were just infatuated with her pretty face and godly charms. She had seen too many of her friends enter into marriages based solely on physical attraction, only to be sorely disappointed and heartbroken later. Adanma longed for a love that would stand the test of time and circumstances. She dreamed of finding a partner who would love her for her kind heart, intelligence, strong values, and a good character, not just her beauty and youthful looks that would inevitably diminish with age. So the wise Adanma came up with a clever plan to find her true love. One morning, before the sunrise, Adanma ventured into the dense forest near the village. She knew the location of certain rare herbs, berries, and roots that could create powerful elixirs and potions. Carefully following the ancient recipes, she began brewing a special concoction. After hours of mixing, grinding, boiling, and chanting ritual incantations over the bubbling pot, Adanma had created a potent face paint. This wasn't just any ordinary makeup. When it was applied, it would render the wearer's face horrifically ugly and disfigured in appearance. Excited at the prospect of her plan's success, Adanma wasted no time in spreading the thick, gooey paste all over her beautiful face. As the noxious fumes choked her nostrils, she could feel her flawless skin transforming into a twisted, pock-marked mask. Her small, cute nose became large, bulbous, and crooked. Even her perfect teeth turned green and rotted out. Looking in the water of the small river, Adanma could barely even recognize her own reflection. She saw the face of a white-covered hag glaring back at her. "Aha! This is even better than I could have hoped," she exclaimed, her raspy voice startling a family of birds out of the nearby trees. "Now I shall truly be able to find the one who loves me for who I really am." Filled with determination, Adanma returned to the village wearing her hideously ugly disguise. As she came down the main road, families rushed inside and barred their doors at the sight of her grotesque features. Children screamed and ran away in terror. Even the stray dogs began barking at the seemingly evil stranger in their midst. And how did the young men who had relentlessly pursued Adanma's hand react when she passed by? They turned up their noses, holding leaves and clothes over their faces, while making retching noises as if they smelled something rotten. The very same men who had fought for her affection just days ago now acted as if she was a diseased leper. All except one man, Okoro, a humble farmer with a strong back and kind soul. He had admired Adanma's beauty from afar, but had never been bold enough to actively court her before. Yet, when he saw the ugly, disfigured woman that Adanma had become, he did not recoil or mock her as the others did. Instead, he stepped forward and spoke words of welcome. "Good a stranger, I'm Okoro. What brings you to our land?" Shocked that he would speak so politely to someone as repulsive as her current appearance, Adanma's real voice shook with surprise as she squeaked, "Greetings! I'm simply passing through on my journey. In that case, you simply must stay for a meal and rest before continuing. Okoro insisted. When Adanma tried to dissuade him from being so generous to someone so unsightly, he just smiled warmly and said, "Appearances can be deceiving. Perhaps I'll discover the beauty within if I look deeper." From that day forward, Okoro took every opportunity to engage Adanma in conversation, to get to know her better. He included her in the community's activities and celebrations. He helped her carry her heavy loads and complimented her on her intelligence, wit, and strength. Though her outer appearance was utterly repulsive, he seemed to see some inner beauty that the others could not. Adanma was touched by this kind man's ability to look past the surface and appreciate her for who she was inside. She found herself drawn to his humble spirit, endless tolerance, hardworking nature, and good heart. Might he be the one she had been looking for all this time? And one fateful day, Okoro's admirable character was put to the ultimate test. As Adanma was walking home along the village road, she failed to notice the deadly Mozambique-spitting cobra slithering across her path until it was too late. The vicious reptile reared up, releasing a foul venom spray directly into Adanma's distorted face. She fell to the ground, clutching at her burning eyes as the snake prepared to strike again and deliver its fatal bite this time. That's when Okoro came running, a pitchfork gripped tightly in his calloused hands. He jumped in front of the blinded Adanma, shielding her body from the snake's attacks as he fended it off. He battled ferociously with the serpent, taking several venomous bites to his arms and legs, but never relenting until finally it slithered away in defeat. As he collapsed next to her, Adanma cradled Okoro's sweat-soaked head in her lap, tears streaming down her ravaged face. Why? Why would you risk your life for someone like me? I'm just an ugly stranger." Through trembling lips, Okoro whispered, "You were never a stranger to me. From the moment I saw the beauty of your spirit shining through those unsightly features, you took root in my soul. I would die 100 times over to keep you safe." From that day on, Adanma knew she had finally found her true love in Okoro. His brave actions, pure, selfless, and ability to see her inner beauty proved it beyond all doubt. However, she still wanted to test him one last time, just to be absolutely certain. So one morning, before the sun rose, Adanma took special herbal baths and applied sacred oils to wash away every last bit of the ugly disguise. She allowed her natural, radiant beauty to be restored fully once more. When Okoro came calling at her, but that afternoon, he did not even recognize the gorgeous woman standing before him at first. "Forgive me, fair maiden, but have you seen my dearest Adanma?" he asked, bewildered by her stunning appearance. "I fear I have lost her somewhere, for she was quite disfigured and unpleasant to look upon." Adanma smiled that bright, enchanting smile and replied, "Look closer, my love, for I am she." Okoro's jaw dropped as the truth dawned on him. "But you are beautiful, the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. Why then did you ever appear so ugly and twisted before? Was it all just an illusion?" Taking his rough but gentle hands in her own smooth palms, Adanma explained the entire situation. "I created a disguise of ugliness to find a man who would love me for my inner beauty, not just my outer beauty. You are the only one who saw through that ugliness to the real me inside. And now that you have seen my outward beauty as well, do you still love me just as much?" Tears of joy streamed down Okoro's face as he stammered, "More than ever. For though I have always loved your radiant soul, I must admit I am even more captivated now that I can see how breathtakingly lovely your physical form is. You are beauty itself, inside and out." Laughing merrily, Adanma embraced her true love tightly as he swung her around in his arms. Their wedding ceremony was the grandest celebration the village had ever witnessed, full of feasting, music, dancing, and revelry. All the superficial men who had cruelly mocked Adanma were left aghast at what a prize they had missed out on, but the couple paid them no mind. Okoro and Adanma had both realized that true love requires seeing beyond the merely physical into the deepest depths of a person's heart and spirit. Only then can a bond between two souls be formed that will only grow stronger and more beautiful with age. The two, Okoro and Adanma, were very happy together after getting married. Their love for each other grew even stronger every day. They built a little hut in the village where they lived together peacefully. Adanma was so glad she had found a husband who loved her for her kind heart and good character, not just her pretty face. Okoro never cared about outward appearances. He only saw the inner beauty in Adanma's soul. A few years went by, and Adanma grew pregnant with her first child. She and Okoro were overjoyed to be starting a family together. When the time came, Adanma gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. They named her Chidi, which means God exists. As Chidi grew from a baby into a little girl, it was clear she had inherited her mother's natural beauty. She had Adanma's glowing skin, long lashes, and bright smile. All the boys in the village complimented how pretty Chidi was. However, Adanma was worried that her daughter might only care about her good looks, just as the young men had done to her years ago. She didn't want Chidi to be shallow and judge people merely by outward appearance. So Adanma decided to teach her daughter an important lesson about inner beauty. One day, she took Chidi into the forest to make the same ugly paint she had used years before when testing Okoro's love. This special paint will make us look very ugly on the outside, Adanma told her daughter. But you must remember that true love, beauty comes from having a good heart, not just a pretty face. Chidi was nervous but trusted her mother. They covered their faces in the go-away mud paint until they both looked like hideous, disfigured creatures. Even Chidi was scared of her own reflection when she saw it. Adanma and the disguised Chidi walked back to the village. The children who had once admired Chidi's beauty ran away screaming in terror at her new ugly appearance. Chidi was heartbroken. But Okoro just smiled warmly when he saw his wife and daughter's twisted faces. "There you are, my two favorite beautiful flowers in the world," he said, giving them both a hug. Chidi realized her father loved her no matter what she looked like on the outside. From that day on, Chidi learned to value inner beauty over outward appearances. She made friends by being a kind person with a good heart, not just a pretty face. She carried this lesson with her for life. Years later, when Chidi had grown up, she met a young man named Obasi, who loved her for her spirit, intelligence, and character, not just her looks. Just as Okoro had done with Adanma, Obasi had eyes to see Chidi's true inner beauty. Chidi and Obasi married and lived happily ever after, carrying on the family's tradition of valuing inner beauty over outer appearances when looking for true love. And that is the most beautiful thing of all. The end.